visual sense of the form. So now, see what exactly happened. She was missing a hand, and so yeah, it should be interesting. So yeah, let me know what you think.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
You must leave me alone now. I have agreed to everything. Even to...
But you do realize your mother will have to accept the consequences of her acts.
I hope that your search will prove successful and bring Sarah back to us soon.
I'll be leaving now because whatever it is you're up to, I do not want to know.
Since then, we have become one and the same. We have officially erased the identity of my sister Emma. Emily Hillsborough. The woman with two faces.
Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
What am I dotting, and why is it M?
Don't move.
Wait, I don't...
So you've come at last.
Easy. Let me turn around. Oh my God, Mother, what has happened to you?
Who are you?
What? But, Mother!
Who are you?
It's me, Louis, your son.
No, you lie. You won't catch me out like that. Louis isn't here. He obeys his mother. He would never have come here.
Mother, I don't know what you've been through, but lower your arm, please.
You think I was born yesterday, do you? But it won't work.
I'm begging you.
One day you will fall.
Mother!
Why are you here?
Let's go, Mother. Let's go home.
In all my heart, there's nothing I want more. But I know you won't let me leave. You are evil incarnate. Every word that comes out of your mouth is sharper than a razor blade.
I don't wish you any harm. Really, Mother. It's me, Louis.
Don't speak to me about him. You will never get him.
Mother, stop torturing yourself. It really is me, Louis. How can I convince you?
If you really are who you say you are, what was the saying I taught you?
You've been telling it to me since I was 3 years old, Mother. How could I ever forget it? Always keep your mind logical.
Honestly, I go through those menus so quick, sometimes I don't pay attention to what I'm choosing. So, yeah.
And and open.
You knew it. You are smart. You're getting me muddled up. Tell me, rather, whose place were we at when I told you I was coming here?
Mother, I really am your son. You can't trick me. We were in Paris. We were investigating an art dealer.
His name?
Quick, somebody go back to one of my previous episodes and tell me what his name was, because I can't remember. It's been too long. I don't know his name.
His name was... Von Bullshit.
Louis would never have got it wrong, dirtbag.
No, wait, it's just a detail. Cathedral. We investigated him for 3 months. He made a fortune by taking advantage of gullible collectors of Parisian high society.
You're a good actor.
He was an ancient art dealer. He had
I don't remember. I think it was in episode 1, but
to get out of me, wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
We unmasked him, but then he came after us. We escaped, but you didn't want me to intervene. I listened to you, and we knocked him out.
What? How? You can't know about that. Louis, no. Is it really you? No! 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 It's not true. It's a nightmare. Don't tell me that. Have you spoken to him?
Oh, shit.
Don't worry. I'll
because I spoke to Mortimer.
I'll be fine. I have still 2 more failures before I lose. And this cost me nothing, so...
Mother, I don't know what you're imagining, but don't worry. Everything will be alright. If you're worried about what I might think about Elizabeth Adams, honestly...
Oh, Louis! Elizabeth is the last of my worries right now. I did what I could for her, but it was too late. Very well. Logical and open, Louis. Since you arrived on the island, has anything strange happened to you?
Depends on what you mean by strange. Everything I found in Lord Mortimer's secret study.
You managed to get past the nightmare? I'm proud of you, Louis. But that's not what I meant by strange.
He's nevertheless extending his influence across the world, Mother.
I know, but that's not what concerns me right now. I asked you if anything strange has happened to you personally.
Like me having visions, for example?
I knew it! It started! Oh,
Hell,
Louis,
she's
I just
panicking.
wish I...
Yes, it's happened to me. Like when I was a boy. I find myself in someone else's body for the space of a dream.
Have you ever dreamed of a different
Okay, so
place,
this is the first
one
time
where
I
you were
failed. I
sleeping
don't know what's gonna
without being able to
happen.
explain it?
And that would be
No.
hilarious.
But
April
Mother,
Fool's, Mom!
don't
Got you!
worry. I'm not losing my mind. Everything is fine. You used to give me a concoction to calm me down when I was little. So, just make some for me once we get back home.
Migraines? Loss of consciousness? Loss of control?
No, rest assured. All is well. I promise you.
What else? If you really are who you say you are, then you'll do what I ask of you.
Which is?
A conference is going to be held. You will attend on my behalf.
No, wait, Mother. No one cares about...
You will be invited and you will go. Mortimer will present a project. Whatever this project is...
But...
Whatever the project is, I want you to learn as much as you can about it. You'll have to get by as best you can, but we must find out what it's about. Do you understand?
Don't you think that before all that, there are a few issues to be addressed?
Do you understand?
Yes. All right, I understand.
I'll explain afterward, but right now you must go to the conference. Go now!
You do realize you're still treating me like...
Yeah, she's definitely aiming way off to the left.
I warn you.
I would just be like, pull the trigger. Screw it. You're not going to hit me. Pull it.
Mother.
Shoot me, Mother.
Hillsborough, Emma's sister, came to this island looking for her sister. She probably won't hesitate to take revenge and...
It's the signal that the conference is starting, Louis. Don't be concerned about the Duchess. She's the last of our worries.
There's the alchemical symbol of the earth on the lid.
It's the Knights of the Round Table.
I have suspected it.
Oh yeah, and I'm still waiting on my gift from Washington, good sir.
A devil's thorn, to be used to uncover the best disguised traits.
I'm convinced that it is very common indeed. Your plan is a good one.
She's not acting by design, is she?
Not as represented.
But with respect to any other characteristic, I do not imagine much of it.
By all that I have ever read, I'm convinced that it is very common.
But it is not sour. You know it is not sour.
Your conjecture conjecture is totally wrong, I assure
A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of water.
I have already told her so once, by your desire.
Are you quite sure, son? Is there not a little mistake somewhere?
Yes, because she asked him at last, and he could not help answering her, but she said he seemed quite angry at being spoken to.
But it is not.
An old sesterce from Roman Gaul.
Your conjecture is totally wrong, I assure you.
Upon your word. Well, that's very nice.
A fragment of amber.
Certainly, sir. Allowing the case, however, to stand according to your representation, you must.
Ah, Louis, I've been expecting you. Thank you for joining us. We are about to begin our conference. Let me explain what is at stake.
Thank you kindly. But what do you expect of me exactly? My mother's the one who's supposed to attend, not me.
That is indeed what was initially intended. Unfortunately, she still hasn't been found, and my guests can't stay here indefinitely. The conference must begin.
At this point, why would you not just be like, yeah, she's been found, she's hiding underneath your garden?
Consequently, I would like you to replace her during her absence. What is at stake here is of the utmost importance.
It's important that the French order gets their say. And should you need any advice, don't worry. You are not alone, Louis.
Very well.
And I still want to know where my gift is from Washington.
In concrete terms, how do you organize your discussions?
A conference is always organized the same way. There are two masters of ceremony who determine an important subject.
You and Sir Gregory, I presume.
Exactly. We shall be the masters of ceremony. It was our obligation to each bring to the table several guests.
So is his mother a master of this discussion? Is that why she's so important to be here? Or
if the project is
am I just hiding the information that she's here because she's just a person in the nosebleed section just getting information?
It's up to the guests alone to decide, Louis. In other words, us.
Gregory and myself are merely the go-betweens. Finally, if the project is validated, each guest goes home and starts working to make it happen.
It can take years.
Can you give me a brief explanation of the aim of it all?
Of course, Louis, I was coming to that. The aim of these meetings is to bring together the most influential people in order to think together about the future.
But the future of who?
Of the world, Louis.
Our desire is to steer the destiny of our respective countries for the good of all, and to no longer suffer the random hazards of history.
Do you often hold this kind of society dinner?
In general, once a year, but in actual fact it tends to be events that dictate our gatherings.
How long have you been active?
Oh, this tradition has more or less always existed, Louis. It has continued from generation to generation.
Can you give me an example of an event that was decided here before being implemented in the outside world?
Well, it was decided right here 2 years.
What, you don't like the way that he says, Louis?
Concerning the case of the French Revolution, I wasn't invited. But as far as the American Revolution is concerned, Louis, I can testify that we planned it 5 years before implementing it, for example.
Louis, let me keep you a moment. I would like to let you in on a secret before we begin. because I'm going to need your assistance. You see, the project I'm going to present concerns the territory of Louisiana in North America. It's currently Spanish territory, and I'm going to make the proposition to the Assembly for it to become French. My idea is to increase the territory of the United States. The first stone of this vast project consists of getting Spain to cede Louisiana to France. Once it becomes French, France will hand it over to the United States, which will then allow them to double the size of their territory. And that's where you come in. France and the United States, hand in hand, two democracies illuminating the world.
Lord Mortimer, I'm sure you're aware that Louisiana is hardly prime quality land. I wouldn't be exaggerating to call it marshland. How is acquiring land they won't know what to do with going to strengthen the United States?
Think further, Louis. The United States won't stop there. Once they've acquired Louisiana, nothing will stop them.
So I guess he's trying to plan like a Genghis Khan invasion for, you know, the United States to take over all of the land for the Spanish and the French and all that fun stuff. Like, is that what I'm hearing?
It's natural for them to want to develop their nation to become one of the greatest powers of this world. As for the Spanish, there are just a handful of them actually on site, and if need be, we'll see to it that they are sufficiently occupied in Europe so that their focus is not on the North American continent. Moreover, Spain really only cares about its colonies in South America. It's hardly my fault if they are not capable of seeing the potential in the North American territories. The concept of royalty is from bygone times. It is time to
I don't know what I would do if I was proposed with the idea of, you know, being the leading argument inside of a conversation that could possibly make a world power that is already the United States much bigger than it already is. So, why would he pose this question to you, saying, hey, let's make America the biggest superpower in the world? It just doesn't make sense.
It's time to start now. I must ask you to keep it to yourself for the time being. Take a seat, follow the discussions. We will have an opportunity to catch up later, and you'll be able to let me know your thoughts.
Blast it, Mother. You didn't know about everything. His project is commendable. Why tell me to beware? Could you have gotten it wrong?
I can tell you that someone.
My friends, I propose we get started. First of all, I would like to thank you for taking the time to come.
The honor is ours, my lord.
As per our custom, here we are all together to discuss the face of tomorrow's world. Even though there may be certain tensions between our nations, I must ask you to keep an open mind. As Sarah de Richet is unable to be among us, please welcome Louis de Richet, who will represent the Golden Order and will vote on its behalf when the time comes.
Welcome among us, Louis.
Welcome, Monsieur. I hope he'll be more effective than his mother regarding the protection of the King of France. The Order has proved particularly inefficient.
Come, Manuel, you're not going to spoil our visit. The Order's mission was not to protect King Louis XVI, as far as I am aware.
We are talking about a king of divine blood, for goodness sake. It seemed obvious to me he needed protecting. If the Golden Order wants to pride itself on being an influential organization, it should have kept him alive.
Thank you all. I am honored to be among you today. I will strive to represent the interests of the Order as best I can.
Perhaps we may begin, Lord Mortimer. Certainly. I have a dream that our nations will continue to support each other, more now than ever before. A dream that, for the sake of common good, we will do what it takes to ensure stability in the modern world. I have a dream that we shall lead by example and ensure that the American territory may remain in peace.
Thank you for the thought, Lord Mortimer, but I don't see where you're leading.
I'm coming to it, Mr. President. I need not remind you that North America is currently divided between the United States on the East Coast and Spain, which occupies the remaining 2/3 of the continent. Well, I propose that Spain cede the center of the continent to France, namely all of Louisiana.
Louisiana? But, well, it is not for sale. Lord Mortimer, I sincerely hope I
So
have
the
not come all
Louisiana
this way
purchase
just
was
to
done
hear you
in
ramble on
secret
about what
by
Spain should and should not
this
do. When we went
small
to
group
all
of
the
people.
trouble of gaining the
Okay,
territory a few
now
years
it makes
ago,
sense.
it was not just to lose it today. Have I made myself clear?
What did I tell you, William? You speak of union, and yet here you are, about to tear us apart.
Duke Manuel, I perfectly understand you. But rest assured, you will soon adore my proposition. You shall see.
Well, since you give me the choice, my good fellow, allow me to doubt it. However, I am impatient to hear what Spain could possibly gain from the sale of Louisiana. What? I do not understand.
There is one more territory left to conquer, if I'm not mistaken, in the northwest. It is, of course, occupied by your notorious Indians, but...
We shall soon be rid of the savages, so that is not the question.
Duke, these savages, as you call them, were there before you. They are on their homeland.
As much as the black people of Africa, Monsieur de Richet. That does not stop your dear France from massacring them and sending them like cattle to Mr. Washington's cotton plantations to provide him with cheap labor. So you keep your morals to yourself, if you please.
Senor, I would not like to be associated with that. The subject of black slaves in the United States of America is a complex subject, which we shall resolve at a future date.
I don't know if I should challenge the president or not. And I don't know what it means by the filthy swine. I'm confused.
I would challenge him.
So, yeah, I challenge him, I guess? Put it up for a poll.
France is not without fault, but that doesn't take away Spain's responsibilities. You see, Native Americans are being subjected to a veritable ethnic cleansing. Europeans are colonizing their land so that it then belongs to them. The widespread evangelization of its inhabitants will soon eradicate a multitude of cultures. You've done the same thing in South America. How far will white people go? Reservations to pin them in like cattle? Total genocide?
Come now, my friends. Let us not digress. Anyway, these primitive people have no souls, Louis. We bring the good word to them in order to save them. You'll see. Colonization brings with it many benefits, too.
Excuse me, if you don't mind, Your Eminence, I shall continue. Duke Manuel, I believe that Spain should cede Louisiana to France free of charge.
This is utterly grotesque, Lord Mortimer. What a strange example you set for your young protégé. Isn't that so, Monsieur de Richet? Do you understand anything of this proposition?
We are neighbors, Duke Manuel. Remember, your main rival in Europe is more likely to be England, who is plowing the seas right up your coastline. Hand over Louisiana to France and make her a prime ally.
Come, Louis. Spain and Great Britain are already allies and have nothing to gain by breaking their alliance.
Even if I do agree, Duchess, the omnipresence of the English fleet in Atlantic waters does not particularly please me.
I must say, William, I find your project mostly disfavors me. I thought you were my friend.
And I am, Mr. President. That is why I'm doing everything in my power to calm your expansionist fervor. France, in Louisiana, should persuade you not to attempt anything to take the territory by force. Louisiana is a vast wetland where you would needlessly lose most of your troops. It would weaken you and offer certain nations the perfect opportunity to take back your famous United States. I am protecting you from yourself, George. Trust me.
I understand. But with friends like you, sir, I certainly don't need any more enemies. I hope you know what you're doing.
Am I imagining things, or does it look like Washington isn't aware of Mortimer's plan?
Not to put too fine a point on it, Lord Mortimer, but I doubt the Holy See would be in favor of Catholic Louisiana being handed over to secular revolutionaries and king killers.
I should think Monsieur de Richet has an opinion on this subject, does he not?
On the maps of Italy I saw in Mortimer's secret study, he had anticipated movements of troops across Italy. I wouldn't be surprised if he's planning an invasion of Italy by France, and if I push the notion a bit further, I can well imagine that Bonaparte's cannons, financed by the Order, will be used for that purpose. The noose is tightening around poor Piaggi's neck without him even realizing it.
I don't know if I'm the best person to speak about that, Your Eminence. Honestly, Your Eminence, I really don't see it that way.
Mi auguro che insegnerete l'educazione a questo giovanotto presuntuoso, Sir Gregory.
I hope that you will teach this pretentious young man some manners, Sir Gregory. It looks like I won't be just making friends here.
In any case, my lord, I doubt the English crown will agree.
Ich versichere Ihnen, Emily, nie Preußen wird diese Vereinbarung akzeptieren.
I assure you, Emily, the Prussian will never accept this agreement. Volner looks like he's set on ruining Mortimer's plan.
Duchess, I am persuaded that we shall find a common ground.
That's enough, William. These are grave times. We don't care about the fate of Louisiana. That worthless expanse of putrid swamps interests no one but yourself.
Speak for yourself, my friend.
Hold on there, Mr. Royal Gigolo. Lower the volume, and let Sir Gregory finish.
Holm, Godoy, and now Volner? Mortimer's adversaries are ready to tear each other to pieces, and he takes a malicious pleasure in watching it happen.
How dare you!
Gentlemen, let us try to remain calm.
There you are, William. See where your projects have taken us, as per usual. Chaos! That's enough. I'm tired. We shall continue this discussion tomorrow, but please be aware that your project will never be ratified. Those who are opposed to this project, follow me. Are you coming with us, Monsieur de Richet?
Come, Gregory, I think Louis would rather stay. Wouldn't you, Louis?
So now I have to decide if I'm for or against the Louisiana Purchase. That's what I'm coming to with this little discussion. So I'm a little confused. Did his makeup in the dark? Yeah, that boy looks like a clown. No, he's disgusting. But I'm going to stick with Mortimer, and I like the way that he says
As for
DV.
me, I think I shall remain with Lord Mortimer, Sir Gregory.
You are committing a grave error, Louis.
Time will tell.
I don't know, that's an interesting discussion. But that's an interesting discussion because the whole concept that the Louisiana Purchase was done in secret all came from different nations of the world is interesting because it was bought for a very, very cheap price for the land size. So I'm interested to see where this is going to go.
My friends, I would like to thank you for staying.
Good God, William. What is this I hear about you reinforcing military power in Louisiana? I have no interest in having France for a neighbor, and you know that very well.
Calm down, George. Louis, explain our plan to Mr. Washington, please.
You see, Mr. President, Lord Mortimer anticipates that once France obtains Louisiana, they will cede it to you.
What do you mean? To us? The United States?
You heard right.
But
President Washington, the United States will double in size.
By what miracle have you...
You need to expand, George. You and France are the two major democracies in the modern world. It is necessary that you both become superpowers.
Are you really going to sponsor democracy throughout the world?
Of course, Monsieur Peru. That's why I don't want Spain to get too attached to those weapons. Please continue, Louis. Explain my vision to Mr. President.
Mr. President, Lord Mortimer intends for you to conquer all the North American continent. He's relying on you to not stop at Louisiana, but to continue to push west.
Indeed, it would be dishonest to pretend that this is not my final objective.
But why didn't you tell me before?
so that Lord Mortimer would appear to be isolated without support.
Exactly. You got it, Louis.
Lord Mortimer retains the advantage by advancing undercover, and for it to work, he needed you to act surprised.
William, you haven't changed. Always one step ahead.
One step ahead? You're joking. More like 5.
On that note, my friends, it's getting late. Mr. President, continue to take offense over my project when we resume the conference in the morning. You do it to a T. And if Sir Gregory has the audacity to send you an emissary to convince you to go against me, do me a favor. String him along if you can. The more they believe we are divided, the more we'll have our hands free.
Only too happy to oblige.
Now, let us get some rest. We've got a big day tomorrow. Good night, gentlemen.
Good night.
That entire conversation was completely pointless. It was just a moment for everybody to hate me a little more.
I'm going to require your services.
How can I be of help? Tell me all about it.
Our adversaries are many, and the closing vote of the conference will soon be upon us. Time is of an essence, so I'll need you to assist me this evening.
How can I help?
I need you to go this very evening to persuade Signor Godoy to join us. He is the backbone of Gregory's resistance. Turn him round, and all the others will follow in such a stampede that Gregory will be able to do nothing but admit defeat.
Lord Mortimer, with all due respect, don't you think I'm the last person...
Have you ever heard of the term talking in circles? Because that's all they did. They 100% did nothing but talk in circles, and it was very annoying.
Lord Mortimer, you're not telling me everything.
Let's say I wouldn't disapprove if the Right Honorable, though nonetheless choleric, Duke Manuel put you in his bad books. If it could motivate him to declare war on France, it would greatly serve our interests.
War? What do you mean?
I told you before the conference. The more we distract Spain from the Americas, the less it will have an eye on Louisiana.
But all the same, we're talking about a war in Europe.
Don't worry. That's why Mr. Bonaparte is with us. I am convinced we'll be perfectly capable of managing the conflict. And Signor Godoy is not a great soldier. He will not commit Spain to a long war that he won't be capable of managing.
I'll go straight away.
Thank you, my boy. And get some rest afterwards. Big day tomorrow.
So if you don't know, I killed this bird in the last episode because I fed it chocolate. And I didn't think anything about it. And it died.
Aren't you afraid our projects for Italy may be discovered before we... Oh. Please excuse us, Louis, but I need to speak with Lord Mortimer in private.
No. What do you want, Louis?
I'm going to have a word with Duke Manuel, but you know him better than I do, I believe.
Yes. Avoid any marks of respect and protocol pertaining to his rank. He's not fond of courtly manners.
Thank you for the advice, my lord. I shall be leaving you.
Why? You can come over. There's only 2 people in this house. I mean, unless you count the 6 dogs. You can come over whenever you want. You are more than welcome. It's still there, but it's dead. It's 100% dead. I killed it. I know I did. Because I picked up the chocolate off of Mortimer's desk, and it specifically said, don't feed to animals, it's poisonous, and I fed it to the animal.
Monsieur Johann von Wulner.
That was Carl and Sam. How do you forget that? We made such a big deal about that in Soma. We killed Carl after electrocuting him to death. He was a robot. It didn't count.
Golden elixir. Honey. I couldn't have hoped for better.
Well, we didn't know that Sam was a person. I just thought it was a robot trying to talk to me. So that one doesn't count. I didn't purposefully slaughter anything or unplug a robot. Carl was a conscious decision that I had to make to get power to the observatory. It's perfectly fine. He was a robot anyway. His body was already dead. You find it later. It's not a big deal. By the way, I have no idea where Godoy is, so this might take a minute to find him. But this episode should be about 3-ish hours long, if we're going off of the old episodes. Okay, yes, she did plea out in, don't kill me's, but it doesn't matter. I needed the power, and she was taking it all. You can't judge me. It was a robot. Did you not watch the last episode? Because I straight up 100% unplugged a person. And that's a little worse, but she was converting to a robot. So I'm justified. You can't sway me on this. I'm justified.
President George Washington. Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Ah, Monsieur de Richet. You wouldn't have seen Duke Manuel by any chance, would you?
I was going to ask you the same question.
I wanted to speak to him, but no one will open the door. I'm not sure he's in there.
If I want to pass through, I'll have to get Volner out of the way.
Perhaps he didn't hear you. Did you try entering?
No, of course not. It would not be proper, after all.
He won't let me by. I'll have to find another way of getting into the damned room.
Ah, Monsieur de Richet. You wouldn't have seen Duke Manuel by any chance, would you?
I was going to ask you the same
No,
question.
no, you got to think back a few more years. It's Washington, my guy. Washington.
I'm not sure he's in there.
If I want to pass through, I'll have to get Volner out of the way.
Excuse me, but I must fetch a letter for the Duke.
Very well, sir.
Ava says thank you for the subscription. Come on, I actually showed pure remorse for killing Carl. You can't fault me for that. He is a robot. A robot. He was not a sentient thing. Oh, you're killing me. George H.W. Yeah, there you go. Now you're getting it.
Manuel Godoy. A painting of himself in his room. Now that's not going to help him develop a sense of modesty. Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better. Don Quixote. Talking without thinking is like shooting without taking aim. I'm going to have to think about that one. Mary Louise of Parma. How ironic having a painting of the Queen of Spain in one's room, my Lord Duke.
When did I become the remorseless bastard? Come on. This is just...
Hey, it looks like someone slipped something in the back here. It's a letter. Let's see what it says. It reeks of perfume, and it's written in Spanish. Godoy, you really are a little devil. So, let's see what it says.
He would be dead. He's a robot. He was flooded. He died. Okay? There's nothing that I could have done about it. Carl had to die so I could live. It's fine. So I don't mind the fact that I found out later that I'm a robot as well. But that's not the point. I must survive.
It seems that the Queen isn't the only one enjoying the Lord Duke's favors.
Now, the real thing that you have to consider is that
it cost him dearly.
Right after we get the flashlight, we discover a human that's slowly being converted to a robot. That's the one that you should be keen on, not Carl. Carl may have been tortured until he died, but that's not the point, okay? I feel sorry for Carl, but, you know, I couldn't do anything about it. He was taking too much power. No, he was not waterproof. He had open circuit boards. You can't, no. You can't do it. No, I'm not going to feel sorry for killing Carl. Now, Sam, on the other hand, I feel sorry more for her because she actually was like, please don't kill me. And then I did it anyway. Carl just screamed out in agony. Alright, he just screamed in agony. That's all there is to it. I got over it. I felt nothing for Carl.
Charles IV of Spain. Now there's no chance of Godoy forgetting who he owes everything to. Amber. Brutus and his companions taking an oath to kill Caesar. Maria Louisa of Parma. Although not Godoy's true love, the Queen is his benefactress according to some people. Volner's probably still behind the door. I best go out through the balcony just in case. The torture of Ixion, condemned by the gods to lose his mind because of his arrogance.
Dear Monsieur de Richet, please excuse me, but I am unable to join you at present. However, rest assured that we are doing all we can to resolve the case that concerns us. By the way, enclosed, you will find a key that will enable you to retrieve the personal effects your mother left behind. Yours faithfully, Lord William Mortimer.
Okay, well now I gotta go find Godoy again. This is my room, by the way. I got this bougie room. Godoy got a terrible room. So yeah, I gotta go find Godoy now. Wherever Godoy may be.
President George Washington.
So yeah, I have no idea where Godoy is. If you guys got any suggestions, let me know. Figured out who the murderer was. It was Colonel Mustard in the library with the candlestick. You don't know me that well. I'm mysterious, and I think of things outside the box. Clue is one of those things.
Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
Duke Manuel?
Well, well. Monsieur de Richet, I was not expecting you. I am not in the mood, sir, I warn you. What do you want from me, sir?
I see you're still feeling under pressure. Since your arrival, I've noticed that you've been on the defensive. It seems to me that Monsieur Peru has a knack for getting your back up.
That is the least you can say. Indeed. I was warned. I knew what to expect. For God's sake, why in the hell did your people execute their king? Have the French gone stark, raving mad? There are nothing but monarchies in power in Europe. They will all come crashing down.
You know what?
On you.
I might. I'll feed it chocolate.
It might, well, turn out to be the opposite.
You certainly do not lack for audacity, young man. Just tell me one thing, monsieur. Why did you side with Mortimer? He is alone, isolated. The United States can do nothing to help you, and France is surrounded by over 10 countries, just waiting for the word to pounce. Really, I do not see why you choose Mortimer.
The Golden Order, my friend. The Order is everywhere. We come from France. We are President of the United States, England, and many other countries.
I really hope that was worth it, because that took up most of my effort points.
Once all hell breaks out and your English support starts to fade away. The Order is an international organization. It matters little what governments do. Otherwise, why would Mortimer have gone to the trouble of inviting my mother?
If you are right, Sir Gregory has got it all wrong. Tell me, do you really believe Spain has any interest in ceding Louisiana to France?
First of all, the question is to know what Louisiana can be used for. We agree that today, all it brings you is death. Every day, a few more Spaniards die far from their birthplace.
I cannot deny that Louisiana is a veritable quagmire. You have a point there. Tell me one last thing. What would I gain from all this?
If you continue with home, our two countries will become rivals. It could turn into war. Who knows?
It is likely, even.
A war, Duke Manuel. On our own territories. Do you really see yourself committing the Kingdom of Spain to an armed conflict against France? Can you imagine the financial investment required, not to mention the loss of lives and dishonor at the slightest defeat? Do you see yourself being the man responsible for that?
No, but you are the one who's pushing me into it, you damned Frenchman!
I'm not pushing you into anything, Duke Manuel. If you are a man of the future and of progress, as I'm given to believe, you will know how much suffering a war would bring.
Come on, you fool, give it up. You're trapped like a rat.
Monsieur, I am astounded. I did not think you capable, but you have succeeded. I will be more wary of you the next time. Nonetheless, if you can guarantee Lord Mortimer's support, then yes, you can count on my vote when the time comes. However, I expect you to be discreet with regard to my former partners, without which our agreement will become null and void.
Of course, my Lord Duke. You can count on me. Lord Mortimer will be delighted to hear the news.
I hope you know what you are getting into, Louis. I bid you good luck.
Good night, my Lord Duke.
See you tomorrow. Well, that's one thing out of the way. The only thing left to do is wait for the conference to resume tomorrow morning.
I hate how this game tells me that I have to go to bed. What is it, my mother? You see this beautiful butterfly? If I could kill it, I would.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
Peru's name tag's fallen off, and his door is ajar.
Dear Monsieur Peru.
All right. I've retrieved everything.
Leave me, de Richet. I don't feel like talking. Are you gonna keep sticking to me like glue? Hell's bells, I don't deserve this. There's nothing you can do for me.
What's going on? Maybe I can help.
Not anymore, you can't. Not against him. But thanks for the offer.
Who are you talking about?
You know very well.
Lord Mortimer? You talk as if you were in danger, monsieur. Has he threatened you in any way?
I'm done for, Monsieur de Richet. I played with the devil, and I lost.
Don't you think it would be good for you to shed your burden?
That is my intention.
You're worried. You have a secret. You're afraid of talking about it. You're afraid of what might happen to me if you told me about it.
Absolutely not. You're not the center of the world, you know. Time is short, Louis. Follow my advice. Find your mother if she's still alive, and get out of here. Flee this damned island of doom.
Are we in danger?
You've been in danger since the minute you set foot on this rock. He wants you. He's sizing you up. He is circling around you. It's blindingly obvious, and you, flattered as you are, will soon be running around for him just to keep your place among his precious few. It feels so good to be accepted by him. You will experience power, wealth, glory. He will give it all to you, until one day you will feel so eaten up inside that you will no longer know who you are. You will find yourself void of all conscience, of all freedom, and can no longer look at yourself in the mirror without feeling sick.
Refuse, I tell you. From now on, say no. No!
You're a good man, Louis. You look after yourself. As for me, I shall take back my freedom tomorrow morning. I'm through with it all.
There you go. Back in the saddle. I'm glad to hear it.
Come on. It's late. I'd like to get some rest.
Very well. I'll leave you then. See you tomorrow, monsieur.
Ah, Monsieur de Richet. You wouldn't have seen Duke Manuel by any chance, would you?
I just ran into him. He was heading for the dining room.
Ah, thank you.
I don't know why, but it seems like the production quality of these later levels or these later episodes has gone down a little bit. That's the second time that I've noticed that the cutscenes or the interactions with people are not exactly perfect, and then you've got the thing that just happened with Volner,
Good evening,
where it looks like I'm getting laid tonight.
Duchess,
but with
you're
Volner,
here. What
where
a charming surprise.
they
I'm beginning to think you can't be without
T-pose out of
You
there.
have managed to penetrate my armor, sir. Am I disturbing you, perhaps?
That's not what I said.
Ah, by the way, you surprised me during the conference.
Why's that?
Well, you are going to lose. Why stay with Lord Mortimer?
I believe he has every chance of winning.
My, you are a rash one. However, if ever you want to change sides, please feel free to let me know.
But tell me, you didn't come here to try and make me change my mind, did you?
That's the last thing on my mind, although you would have everything to gain by it.
There's no point trying to persuade me. Don't hold it against me.
Of course not, silly. Louis, if you trust me, you ought to ask yourself why I have chosen home. You do trust me, don't you?
Of course, Emily.
Admit, though, that it does make you think. There's still time, you know. Join us before it's too late.
Unfortunately, my word is my bond. I don't want to leave Lord Mortimer in the lurch.
Very well, as you wish. It's up to you to decide.
Tell me, are these visits to Mortimer's always so intense?
Yes and no. My sister doesn't normally disappear like she has. Any news of your mother?
I've seen her, Emily.
What? When was that?
A little earlier, just before the conference. She was hiding.
And did you manage to speak to her?
She's not the same. I don't know what's been happening to her, but she's changed. I found her in a deplorable state with one of her hands cut off. She was saying crazy things, bordering on delirium.
What? Did you say one of her hands was cut off? What happened to her?
I don't know. She wouldn't say.
And did she tell you why she shot Emma?
No. Unfortunately, we were unable to broach the subject. She seemed terribly upset, Emily. There's something strange going on here. She was fearful of something or someone.
Excuse me, Louis, but until we see proof of the contrary, she's the one who is sowing death everywhere she goes. We are the ones who ought to be fearful.
I know.
No, I apologize for that remark. Who do you think she's hiding from? Mortimer?
I don't know. Maybe.
Louis, I don't want to pile it on, but I would understand her feelings there. You ought to be wary of Mortimer. He's a manipulator, a liar, a coward who doesn't assume his responsibilities at all.
What exactly happened between you two, Emily? You're so radically against him.
Can we change subject, please? I didn't come here to go through all that again.
Of course, it's late. You're right.
Told you I was getting laid tonight.
Come, Louis.
My friends, do not worry. I assure you that Lord Mortimer's plan will never see the light of day. I shall deal with informing our allies, but for the time being, I need you to make a stand.
What do you think about Monsieur
I don't know who thought that
know.
makeup was a good idea.
I feel there's great potential in him. He looks like he can be trusted. And Duchess Hillsborough, why isn't she here? She's busy. Don't worry about her.
Oh, isn't it time to replace her?
Not so fast, sir.
Only in the world of the council,
figure.
my good friend.
To have a
Only in
little
the
more
world of
faith
the
in her.
council.
What are we going to do about Washington? He will be a hard nut to crack. On our chessboard, he is Mortimer's king. Don't worry. Mr. President only wants one thing. To keep his dear America united. He won't jeopardize everything he has achieved on a whim. He has been serving Mortimer for quite some time. It won't be easy to bring him around. Do you feel all right, Mr. Godoy? You haven't said a word.
Please excuse me, gentlemen. I feel tired.
Oh, I see. I think it is high time you left us then. Now!
Emily? Emily? Are you there? Typical. There she goes again. What's with this habit of hers of taking off in the middle of the night?
Sir, the conference is about to begin. You are expected in the conference room.
Tell them I'm coming. Thank you.
Come on, Louis. The game is back on.
The game is afoot.
My friends, the conference is about to begin. Please excuse me if I troubled you last night with my project. I understand that you might well have a few questions to ask. As you know, the final vote will be cast in a few days. This morning's aim is to answer your questions and check the temperature of your respective positions so that we may reach a greater understanding.
As always, Lord Mortimer.
We parted in perfect disagreement, my lord. Where would you like us to take it from?
Come, sir. Please let William believe he still has a chance of winning us over. Otherwise, his imprecations will lack panache, and we shall be bored stiff.
Oh, let me assure you, I am convinced that a good night's sleep has brought sound advice, and that this morning will be even more interesting. Therefore, I would like to go around the table in order to hear everyone's first impressions.
Well, I am still firmly against it, even though my choice won't count.
Against.
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 And you, Duke Manuel?
Well, you see, it is more complicated and
Godoy?
Calm, Gregory. Don't try to impress my guests, please.
They are not your guests.
Gregory, anyone under my roof is by definition my guest. You included. I would be very grateful if you would let my guests speak. Duke Manuel, you were saying you still had some doubts?
Well, you see, The situation has changed since last night.
What's going on here, my Lord Duke?
You see, I gave it some thought during the night. New arguments have come to light.
What do you mean, Duke Manuel?
Sir Gregory, I regret to inform you that Spain will not support you in this operation. I vote for. Moreover, in response to arguments brought to my attention, I declare war on France.
What? What is he doing?
If you think France is afraid of you, you are dreaming.
Over 10 nations rise against you, young man, and you behave like a yapping little dog?
When the French armies are at your door, my Lord Duke, you will change your tune. Well, as for me, I am for Lord Mortimer's project, despite Duchess Hillsborough's overwhelmingly convincing nocturnal attentions.
What? So Emily was playing at trying to win over guests last night?
It was nothing more than a friendly little chat, of course.
How could it be otherwise? And by the way, remember me to your husband when you see him. And you, President Washington, what is your position?
For, of course.
Well, that leaves just yourself and Monsieur Peru, Louis.
You're all making me sick. Look at yourselves.
What?
You are pathetic!
Have you been drinking or what?
There you are, quibbling away. My Lord Duke this, and Madame Duchess that. You know very well that we're nothing but puppets on a damn string.
Jacques, Ariel.
Let's end the charade. It's over!
Jacques.
My lord, thank you for everything you've done for me over the years. But it didn't come for free. And now I see the price is too high to pay. I'll stop.
Come, Jacques, we'll talk it over.
No, I'm finished. I want my freedom back, my lord. I shall no longer work for you.
Wait!
De Richet, you just can't help it, can you? Stop trying to play the hero, man!
Monsieur, I know I don't really know you, but you seem like a decent person.
I have done so many horrible things!
You blame yourself, I can see that. Everything's not lost.
I don't want to do bad things anymore.
You can take control of yourself again. You can fix whatever it is you've done.
Do you really believe that?
Of course, Jacques. You'll have all the time you need. Jacques, you're not alone.
There's nothing you can do against him.
Of course there is. We've already started.
How can you say that, knowing he's already probably gotten rid of your mother, Louis?
No, he hasn't. She's still here. She's alive, Jacques.
But...
Yes, trust me. This is not who you are. You're better than that.
You don't know me.
Yes, I do. I know you're no coward, so give me your weapon, please.
But
There's nothing to fear. I'm right here.
I don't know if this game has multiple endings, but I want to keep everybody that I can alive, and I've already lost one, so not doing too well. But I won that one.
Seriously hurt someone if Monsieur de Richet here hadn't stopped you. Your behavior is unacceptable. You would do better to go and rest in your apartment. My friends, we shall continue the conference later. I would like to apologize for the inexcusable behavior of my guest. We all need to recover from all of this excitement. Take the rest of the day off.
Oh yeah, well, one failure is not too bad. I'm still gonna get tons of points. So how's everybody liking this game? Everybody enjoying it so far?
This is like a bad dream. For what reason?
That makes no sense. I spoke to him only recently.
Monsieur Peru has lost his mind. It's obvious.
Yet another way for the French to make a spectacle of themselves. Well, once again it has worked.
My friends, let us settle down, please. We are all in shock, of course. Let us celebrate Louis's courage. He enabled us to avert a tragedy.
Yes, that was very noble of you, Louis.
You have given us all a fine lesson.
Yeah, it does a
in courage.
really good job at telling a story.
Thank you.
He owes you his life. That's quite something.
That madman deserves to die.
We are providing Monsieur Peru with care, but rest assured, he is no longer a danger to himself or anyone else. I think everyone needs a little rest. Can you stay a moment?
Of course.
Louis, I wanted to thank you personally. I admire what you did to save Monsieur Peru's life. You have given us all a wonderful lesson in courage.
Don't mention it, my lord. You would have done the same. I was just quicker.
Ah, humility is a fine quality, sir.
Where is he now?
In his room. I've sedated him. I don't want him trying to take his life again. Or, worse yet, attacking one of the guests. When in despair, Monsieur Peru is clearly a dangerous man.
Tell me, my lord, what did you expect of him exactly? I found it difficult to understand what his role was here.
In fact, I asked him here to speak about our collaboration. His mission was soon to come to an end, and I was hoping to persuade him to slow down. I had a few interesting missions abroad to propose to him.
Did you tell him that?
I just let him know that perhaps it was time to move on to something else.
On that note, my lord, I'll be leaving you. Have we covered everything?
Absolutely. Oh, Louis, one more thing, please. I wanted to thank you for your support during the conference. You've made the right choice, and it gives me tremendous satisfaction to have you with me on this project.
What is at stake is worth it, my lord. Now, I won't hide from you the fact that I have no idea by what miracle we could ever get a unanimous vote.
Trust me, Louis. We still have a few more cards to play. You'll see. Anything can happen in politics.
I'll see you later, my lord.
There is one complaint I have about this game, though. The end of every single episode leaves you on a cliffhanger. The end of the last episode ended with your mother walking up behind you with a gun. So, and then it just cut out. It was really annoying.
I already mentioned it yesterday. Either to you or to someone else. Impossible to tell with you people.
Yes, sir.
Your yes is not sufficient. Tell the others for crying
Monsieur
out loud.
Bonaparte.
Louis, once again, bravo for what you did. If it weren't for you, Peru would have blown his brains out. You've got courage. I like this. We just lost a vote for the next conference, and we already had fewer votes than Holm. I must absolutely find a solution.
Yes. Yes, indeed. But I believe if Lord Mortimer is still confident, it's because he still has a few cards up his sleeve.
I hope so. I sincerely hope so. Unfortunately, that vote of Godot you acquired is probably not going to suffice.
Well, it's still more than what you've done, isn't it?
I see you have a short fuse, monsieur. As someone who just started a war with Spain, if I were you, I wouldn't get on my high horse so quickly. In short, we haven't a minute to lose. I'll leave you now.
Just a minute. What did Duchess Hillsborough propose last night?
Oh, nothing worth worrying about. The pretty little pudding eater found no better tactic than to threaten me. She would have been better off sliding into my bed. At least we wouldn't have wasted part of the night talking for nothing.
Threatened you, you say?
That's what I said. I think I'm going to have to be careful of English troops crisscrossing the Mediterranean for a while. The witch would let loose the wrath of the English crown on my august person. But if she thinks that would scare a Bonaparte, she is mistaken. Now, Louis, time is running short, and as I said, I'm in a hurry. I have to go now. I will see you later.
Next time, I'll listen to my mother. Not a day has gone by without something happening to me. What now?
Yo, CPT, what are you doing Friday?
Louis, open up, please.
Coming, Mr. President, I'm coming.
Louis. Ah, there you are at last.
Yes,
I just saw your mother. She was accompanied by Emily, and they both went into the Duchess's room. I tried to join them, but I was refused entry. Louis, this does not bode well.
Oh, shit. Emily might want to avenge her sister. I must act quickly.
You're right, Mr. President. Thank you.
I do believe that's...
Are you going to be free at all this week?
I can't understand what she's saying. I can't open it. It must be blocked on the other side. I'll have to find another way in, quick. Damn it. It's closed. Seems like the key is still in the lock on the other side. That means I won't be able to pick it. Or I could do as I did the last time in the tower room. I wonder if I can get the key by pushing something underneath and... bicorn decorated with a cockade. It must belong to a French soldier. A map? This should do the trick. Perfect! This card should do the trick. Slowly, Louis. Nice and slow. Not a very complex lock. I'm sure I could force it if I can just find something to smash it with. I must act fast.
Would you like to partake in a dinner on Friday? Or Saturday?
Once again, you're the one who's the victim in all this. What are you on about now? I should never have told you what happened to me.
What on earth is...
My mother is dead!
Mother?
How dare you do this to me? You can talk. After everything I've done for you. You are joking, I hope, right? I gave you my life. That's enough, Emma. Now that Louis is here, you will leave Sarah alone. Cease your revenge immediately. What? If you think you're going to... Louis, help me, I beg you. I can no longer reason with her. I am Emily. Quit playing games. What? Honestly, don't be ridiculous. No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart. After everything we've been through together.
Yes, well...
Don't you dare bring him into this. This is between you and me. I ask for nothing more, so stop taking it out on Sarah. You prissy little bitch! How dare you? Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? You are joking, I hope. I'm the one who told you everything that's been going on while you were away. Go on then. That's what you want, isn't it? You want to kill me. Go on then, shoot! After all the trouble I've gone through to find you. Go on. What are you waiting for? Here, Louis, take this.
Wait, what's going...
An entire life for this. Go on, shoot. Sorry, Louis, I can't shoot her. She's my sister. That's enough, Emma. Louis, out of the way. She's dangerous. Don't trust her. What are you trying to do? Louis, out of the way. I am not Emma. Come on, Louis, tell her who the real Emily is.
Wait,
That's right, Louis. I'm fed up with this little game. Tell him who the real Emily is.
Why do these things always happen to me?
Well, Louis, come on, you know how to tell us apart, right?
Yes, but I'd like to ask you a few questions to make sure
You know,
there's
you gotta
no
stop
doubt.
blaming me for deaths. It's not my fault.
Let's see. How can I tell them apart? Wait, I've got an idea.
On the night of our arrival, who was with us on the wharf?
Cardinal Piaggi. He was with us from when we started traveling by ship. We arrived on the same boat. I already told her, Louis. Another question, then. I'm the one who told you.
Right. Let's find something else. Ah, yes. Let's speak about my arrival at the manor.
On the night of our arrival, we were warming ourselves in front of the fire. Mortimer welcomed us in a certain way. What happened exactly?
Well played, Louis. Unfortunately, I'm not the one you should have asked that question to. Mortimer did not welcome us. It was Sir Gregory who welcomed us that night. Mortimer didn't show up until 2 days later. I know that as well.
Very well.
Let's try something else.
On the first night, we went up to bed, but I wasn't tired. I went for a little stroll. Do you remember if we saw each other that night or not?
No, not after going up to bed. That doesn't prove a thing. I was the one who told you that. Don't think you're going to get away with this deception so easily. I can assure you, you're going to regret pretending to be me once.
Honestly, just shooting both of them seems like a really good idea right
I don't think
now.
I'll get very far like this. I'll have to find something better.
Oh, I don't think I'll even wait until he's finished.
Take it easy now.
Are you mad, Louis?
Lower your arm.
I better act quickly if I don't want things to get out of hand.
Come on, she's putting one over on you. Look at yourself for crying out loud. You were prepared to shoot me down.
In the secret room behind the study. Talk to them about what you've been doing. Maybe they haven't spoken about it between each other yet.
On the night of the disappearance of Elizabeth Adams.
What about it? What do you want to know about that night?
We found ourselves in Mortimer's secret gallery. What relics did we find?
Property deeds in Mortimer's name dating from very long ago.
Is that all?
You mean all those mythological charms? So there was the so-called Pandora's box that wasn't a box, actually. The famous golden fleece that reeked of dead goat. A broken sword that could have belonged to anyone. Is that enough?
Yes, that's enough.
You look captivated. Of course, he bought it. That's enough! I've had enough of this charade. Louis, there's only one way to tell us apart. There's just one thing I didn't tell her about in detail. Too bad for you, Emma. I didn't want it to come to this, but you leave me no choice. Ask her about you and I. You just lost, Emma. I indeed didn't tell you everything about it. Come, Louis. Speak about our intimacy.
Very well. Let's talk about us. Last night, you came to me in my room. What exactly did we talk about?
We spoke briefly about your choices during the conference, Louis. What do you mean? Yes, Emma. It just so happens I didn't tell you everything. I never told you about this part. I hate you!
That's enough, both of you. Now I know who the real Emily is.
You are Emily Hillsborough.
I knew you wouldn't get it wrong, Louis. No! You little bitch! Watch out, Louis! No!
Hell, what have I done?
See what you've done. See.
This just proves I am a master sleuth.
Louis? What on earth is going on?
Mother!
Go. You must leave. Everyone's going to arrive.
Louis, what's going on?
Duchess? Is everything all right?
Go! Go, Mother! No one must find you here.
Go.
Come, Louis. There's nothing more you can do.
But I...
Leave us.
Emily, what's going on?
Mother, go to the crypt. I'll meet you there.
I'll be waiting for you.
All required sacrifices for the greater good.
Madam,
Emma was obviously deranged,
like this,
just like my mother.
Let me stay with her, please. Go, I'll cover you.
What? What are you doing there? Stop!
God damn it. Now what's going on?
Emily pulled the trigger, by the way. I was just holding the gun. I was brandishing it, not shooting it.
My dear Napoleon.
You know what? Tomorrow, I'll play Soma, just so I can kill more robots.
Good God! They're all here. They must have heard the gunshot.
Where is Lord Mortimer?
Can anyone hear anything through the door?
Did you hear that? I was not dreaming, was I?
Certainly not, Duke Godoy.
What's going on?
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room. She isn't answering. Gentlemen, go back to your rooms. Go back to your rooms. I shall find out from Lord Mortimer what this is all about. Thank you.
My instructions are clear, sir. No one is to enter.
Hey, a Russian ruble. I wonder what it'd be worth today.
I'm honestly kind of hoping that this mission ends soon because I am starting to get tired and my decisions are going to become very rash very soon. Like killing all these butterflies.
The lock is surrounded by a triple circle.
Louis! At last, there you are.
Mother, wait,
Come, we have to be quick.
No, wait, Mother,
Time is running out, Louis. First, we must...
No! That's enough. I won't go a step further unless you explain to me what is going on here. I'm begging you. Talk to me.
You must trust me, my son. You are not ready yet.
You're the one who should trust me. Tell me what's happening.
You would never believe me.
I came all the way here for you. Now I've found you. I'm ready, Mother.
If only... Louis, I have always taught you to keep your mind open and logical. I know you are going to find it hard to believe, but what I am going to reveal to you is entirely true. Many years ago, I found out that demons really do live among us.
I beg your pardon?
And that they can influence our thoughts.
Mother, listen to yourself. I know you're exhausted, but for crying out loud, listen to what you're saying. Demons? What next? An ancient monster with a head like an octopus? What do your demons look like? Have they got horns and a pointed tail?
No, these
are they
not
really about to throw
creatures with
Cthulhu
Billy
into
Goat's
this?
legs. Forget your
When did this
Christian
become
folklore.
H.P. Lovecraft?
Imagine them more as parasitic spirits. They possess their hosts and direct them from inside.
Parasitic spirits?
Yes, they are capable of going from one body to another as they see fit. And 2 of them are present on this island.
Right. So let me guess. Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory, right?
You felt it too?
No, even if Home does look the part. But I don't know who else could do it, given that we're on their territory.
Many years ago, well before you were born, I crossed paths with one of them. Since then, I've spent my life trying to find it again. When we recovered the Alizif, I was persuaded that von Burchard was working for this demon in one way or another. But I thought he would hand the book to a middleman during this conference. That's where I made an error that could well turn out to be fatal. The one who Burchard was meant to give the book to was none other than the demon in person, Mortimer. Not to mention that Home had sent Volner to get it for him.
Home and Mortimer are demons?
They both seem to disagree about many things, but I'll admit I never knew exactly why. There are many of them, Louis. Not just those 2.
Mother, have you any proof to support any of this?
Of course, but you do too. You had everything laid out in front of you. Didn't you notice anything?
Well, those property deeds across the world, all signed by the same hand, and over several centuries.
I am proud of you, Louis.
I found your notes, written in lemon juice.
Where all eyes size you up. At one stage, I was so afraid of losing my mind that I noted everything down. Congratulations, Louis. Wait,
maybe.
Please tell me you didn't open Pandora's box.
This is taking a very interesting
I
twist.
Did. Why?
Too bad. We'll deal with it later.
I went beyond the nightmare, Mother.
You understood the Masonic date.
1191.
Of course! It was during that siege that the demon took possession of Sir Mortimer. They spent a whole night in conversation until the early hours of the morning. Mortimer had passed the test. He had charmed the demon, and so it chose him to be its host for centuries to come. But tell me, did you find his secret study?
I did indeed.
Did you see his maps of the world?
I don't know much about the Indigo prophecy,
Yes,
but
I've
you
been
might be
developing
right.
the Golden Order across the world for many years, and I've never seen anyone with such influence. It's simply inhuman.
I must admit, I found it difficult to understand how and why Mortimer didn't have a place in history.
On the continent, Mortimer and Home are mere dandies who organize society balls. History forgets them with a disconcerting facility. No one speaks about them, and yet they whisper in the ears of kings and presidents.
You mean the conference?
How can you explain that someone manages to bring together so many important figures without anyone knowing?
And without any security or personnel.
Louis, I am proud of you. You came all this way. You found me. You have surpassed me.
You taught me everything I know. Right. How did it all begin?
I saw him.
What do you mean you saw him?
I was 20 years old. I was young and carefree. I traveled the world in search of adventure. In the Persian Gulf, we came across an ancient grimoire that became unlocked. Composed of 7 parts, each one was a book in itself, set in a sort of metal armor that structured the whole thing. When all the volumes were brought together, they formed a single book. On my return to Paris, I set to studying these pages. I spent all my days and nights studying them.
Oh, I can imagine you doing that.
But the writing was in a language I had never seen before, developed well before Sumerian, in my opinion. So I got the idea to form a small occult circle composed of all the major names in the occult world to see if anyone else could crack it.
And you found no one.
And I found someone, Louis. I found him, or rather he found me. He was young, charismatic, he was flamboyant.
You mean Mortimer?
He was a veritable mine of knowledge. I showed him the book, and he was able to decipher a few passages. We spent several months together studying the pages. He helped me understand certain passages until I realized that he only translated a few parts for me.
I've heard some very negative things about Fahrenheit.
How so?
But I'll look into it and check it out.
He used me, and in the end, he stole the book with all its secrets.
Did he ever go to your place?
Not once. At least I don't think so. But before disappearing, he proposed a pact between us. He proposed that I follow him and let him teach me, allow him to bring me up.
And you accepted.
Please don't be stupid. You don't make deals with the devil. After that, I spent my whole life looking for him. 3 years later, in Berlin, I just missed him. In London, I lost 6 members of the order in a chase. In 1741, in Tunisia, I found a sect of fanatics who had crossed paths with him once. 1741, in Poland. 1749, in India.
8 years ago in Venice.
We agreed never to speak about what happened in Venice, Louis.
You agreed, and that was before you spoke to me about demons. Wait, the baby we delivered, you and me, that night in Venice, did he have anything to do with Lord Mortimer?
The child was his son.
We stole his son? Are you insane? I always thought we took him to save him.
That was the case. It was precisely to save him from his father.
Need I remind you the mother died during childbirth? What became of the child?
Later. For the moment, that is not the key issue here. Once we found the Al-Azif in Paris, trail here, I didn't think it would
Maybe,
lead
I don't
me
know.
straight
Well,
to
like
the
I said, I'll
demon.
look into it, and
was
if it looks
careless of
interesting,
me.
I'll get it.
He toyed with me for a few days, until I caught on, until I saw him as he was. But he had no intention of letting me leave. We are all his pawns, Louis, and if we don't want to spend the rest of our lives turning round in circles here, we must absolutely get off this island. All right, can we move on?
Wait a minute, one last thing. I want to know what happened between you and Emily's sister.
Great responsibility often brings difficult choices, Louis. That's all you need to know.
Mother, I won't take a step further if you don't answer me.
You dare blackmail me?
I'm listening.
All right, I used her. So there you are. Happy now? We had the Al-Azif, and I didn't think we would be able to escape with it. In order to ensure that the book did not fall into their hands, or that one of them couldn't read in us where we had hidden it, I asked Emily to...
It's Emma.
Yes, or rather for me, it was Emily. So I asked Emma to hide it without anyone seeing. And then I disposed of her. I am sorry for her, but she was part of the Golden Order, Louis. She knew the rules when she joined.
What did you negotiate about the Al-Azif with Volner?
Absolutely nothing. I managed to pull the wool over his eyes until I found a way to flee.
I want to know what happened with Elizabeth Adams.
Louis, we haven't time for those details.
I'm sorry, Mother, but I want to know.
She was one of the receptacles for these monsters. I met her parents when she was born. One of the demons got inside her. The demon used her to spy on her father, John Adams. He is one of the founding fathers and vice president of the United States, you know.
Mortimer possessed her?
No, I don't think it was Mortimer. Her father, John Adams, hired me to tend to her, but the evil in her was too deep. In spite of the various treatments I tried on her, I never succeeded in getting it out of her. It's not something I'm proud of, Louis, but I had to try everything.
Mother, did you kill her?
Of course not. Don't be stupid. I had no interest in getting rid of her.
What was going on with the cannons in Tuscany?
It was nothing.
Since when does the Order finance wars?
The cannons for that Bonaparte fellow? Listen, once in the lion's den, I did whatever I could to appear legitimate. So yes, I pretended to be interested in Mortimer's project about a young military man who was seeking funding for a foundry in Tuscany. Between you and me, if buying China would have enabled me to escape, I would have signed without hesitation.
Samuel Ritter du Choix, you wanted to send me a letter about Godoy.
I wanted you to run a check on Duke Manuel. But frankly, it doesn't really matter anymore now. Godoy is just a pawn like the others. He is not the one I was looking for.
You know, I found your package under a wharf plank.
As a matter of fact, I needed it yesterday. I wasn't expecting anyone to take it.
On the evening of my arrival, Cardinal Piaggi came looking for you. He was determined to give you a letter.
More of his lists. Louis, I think I know what's in that letter, and I beseech you to believe that it is the least of our worries. We can sort that out later.
Are you going to tell me what happened to your hand?
Better than that. I shall show you.
Good. I think that's about right. We shall speak about it once we get back to France.
Great actions for humanity have been decided by demons for centuries, Louis. They are playing with our destiny. We are their slaves. And it's time for it to stop. By the way, what was Mortimer's project at this conference?
He wants the United States to occupy all the North American territory. France should recover Louisiana and give it to the United States. In that case, the Americans would just have to push west to chase the Spanish from the continent once and for all.
And as Mortimer controls Washington, you may just as well say that it will put him at the head of a world superpower. We should do our utmost to put a stop to Mortimer's plans. But for the time being, there are more pressing matters.
She gave those hands too hard.
Why we're here?
You right.
There. That's why we are here.
Reassure me, we aren't going to have to force that one, are we?
I don't think we're even capable of doing it. You're going to have to find a way to open it.
Why, of course. And what's inside?
Something to vanquish them with?
Perfect. So, how does it open?
We'll need several keys. I found a note from the architect who conceived the mechanism in Mortimer's secret study. We have to first gather 6 objects before we try anything.
Are your 6 objects the keys?
Exactly. We have the Clement III cross, the nails, the Gutenberg Bible, the exegesis of Judas, an armillary sphere, and all we need to match up the dates between the different calendars.
So yeah, I'm going to do exactly what I just said I hate this game does, and I'm going to leave this as a cliffhanger here, as I have to get up early tomorrow. So we will sadly not be finishing up episode 3 tonight. Wow, this is only episode 3. And there's 5 episodes. Holy crap. So we will not be finishing up episode 3 tonight. We will finish it up tomorrow. And then possibly finishing up episode 4 tomorrow as well. But until then, I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.